Watch this. Quiet, Artosis, says Jadong.
Ooh.
Don't you doubt me. I am the greatest Zerg player of all time, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And Light, look at him. He's like, I'm glad I don't have a normal job anymore.
He's like, wow, I have a Zerg in this first round, and if I beat you, I have a Zerg in the final round. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
This guy's feeling a top 8 coming tasteless, but I don't know if it's that easy.
Fighting Spirit, the classic map here, especially if you're ladder and you probably end up with a lot of games on Fighting Spirit on Remastered. This is the map to learn on, to figure out all the basic builds on. So it's going to be cool to see players of this caliber and how they approach a map that is so storied, so understood, so documented.
Yeah. It is so unbelievably standard in this matchup. I mean, I just can't wait to get into this game tasteless because I feel like I know everything in the whole world about Fighting Spirit TVZ. And I want to see if these guys can teach something new. Is someone going to bring some sort of alternative opening strategy to get that leg up? Because otherwise, it plays out normally.
It's time. This is game 1. Jadong versus Light, a best of 5 here in Group C of the KSL.
So we have Jadong in the top left, and in the top right, we have Light. By the way, I always like to look in the early game taste. This is very fascinating to me, right? Because the pro gamers are pretty split, whether they like widescreen or the old 4x3 resolution. In this particular game, we have Light on the widescreen, Jadong on the 4x3.
Yeah, that's one of the things is that, obviously, I think we all know this, that StarCraft Remastered got a facelift, but
got more than a facelift, tasteless.
Yeah.
It got the whole shebang.
Got a nose job, too.
Yeah.
But a lot of the pros will still play on the older setting because they're just comfortable with that, and that's what they're used to seeing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, both settings have their ups and downs, for sure. So let's see what these guys want to go with for their openings. It's normally going to be a hatchery first, and generally for Terran, you're going to see a barracks expand, but like I said, there's actually a lot of ways that Terran can bring it in the early game and kind of get to a similar spot.
Okay. Now, we want to ask ourselves, are these guys going to play standard? Because we've seen Jadong do some really weird builds from time to time. And, you know, there's so many different ways for Zerg to play this that I'm really curious. Now, let's say it's standard style just to get that out of the way, because I think if we had to bet on one, it would be this.
Yeah.
Zerg goes ahead and gets on 2 bases, gets a layer. And what they're trying to do is get a third base set up somewhere safe. A lot of times that's in another main. In this case, most likely the bottom left one. And Terrans know this so well that they're usually checking that bottom left main. We don't normally see them take the bottom right main. And the reason for that is that it's so hard to push down there. If Zerg can get lurkers on the ramp, with the medic marine that you generally see from Terran, and if we see Terran do something different, we're going to point that out, and we'll follow that build order fork that way too. But if we see that, then Zerg is going to try to scramble to get with that third base up, get the gas, get a hive, and get a defiler mound. Because with Dark Swarm, there's so much you can do, and so much the Terran cannot do.
Yeah.
What is okay? I keep feeling like he's going to try to make a hatch right over there.
He might make a hatch at the third base with this.
Well, I thought he was. I thought for a second he was going to not make it at the start location.
This can be very dangerous because Light is watching right now, okay? Because right now, Light knows that there should be a third hatchery being made right about now, okay? Now, Sulky throws down this gas.
Jadong.
I mean, yeah, sorry, Jadong. But Jadong throws down this gas. The thing is, that's not a 2-hatchery gas timing. He's looking for a third hatchery. He doesn't see a third hatchery, and he will throw down a second barracks because of this.
Right.
Now, just to make this clear, right, if you go for 3 hatcheries, then your gas is a bit later, so your tech comes out later. If the Terran goes for 2 barracks against this, that means that they will have less overall units in the mid-game, but they will have a quicker academy, which means stim and medics, and that's when you can really move out. And if Light, because Light, I think he already knows exactly what's going on, if Light can go down and kill that third base with his initial group of units, then the game will be almost easy for him from there.
Yeah.
But if he can't kill it, Oh, that's big props to Sulky. Sometimes we see Zergs go for mass speedlings or really try to rush up to Lurker, but Light has done the right build against this.
Okay. Light wants to try to keep this SCV alive for as long as possible. When you rush into layer, your Zergling speed's going to be later, which means it's harder to catch this SCV. Now, the SCV doesn't heal, so every time you do damage to it, it's that much closer to dying. It's not like a drone or a probe. They can regen at least some of the HP they have. I guess Protoss shields. So you have to think that Light suspects the hatchery at the bottom left, but the hatchery could be at the bottom right.
Yeah,
so,
that is possible, and I think that might be why he's sending the SCV.
Yeah.
Because if he goes to the wrong main, I just saw his screen actually flick down there, so he right-clicked the SCV there. But if you go to the wrong main, then suddenly they do have enough time to defend, so that becomes a big issue. You notice Sulky's working very hard.
Oh, my God. This Overlord was out there. I don't even know why it was out there.
Yeah.
Do you know
what?
A thing.
It was in a weird spot. I think he might have poked it out.
Oh, yeah?
He might have poked it with a Marine. You can kind of make it move into a certain direction when you attack it. I don't know for sure, but I think that's very likely what occurred there.
Problem is, you really don't want to lose an Overlord this early.
No, especially when you're already being this greedy.
The SCV's going to get in here. Oh! Okay, that was sick.
That
Good
was
save.
a sick drone block. Last possible second.
Yeah. Now, with all that being said, I mean, he probably suspects it's Lurkers anyways, but not having the confirmation of that is huge.
Yeah. You're quite right about that. He can get his comp sets reasonably quickly. The thing is, he knows the gas timing, so he doesn't need to do it yet. Like, he can make his comp sets in a few seconds here, and he can still get a scan off before Mutas could hit him. But this is where we have to see Light move out well and also prevent counterattacks. That's one way Zerg can try to make this up.
So the Lurkers go here on the ramp because as the Medic Marine come out, the Lurkers should be finishing right before the Medic Marine can get there. Now, Light can still try to attack at another location, and dude, I don't see Lurkers here at all.
No,
unless they're morphing just off the screen.
Jaedong has to buy time.
Yeah, and I think Light's not going to.
No, he doesn't need to. He can just almost right-click, and then when they come up, okay, then you shoot. They have to run. Look at this, only one sunken.
Ooh, I think he could have actually gone for that, but it's a tough call.
Well, he sees the others morphing. Maybe he's a little bit nervous about it. Okay, his SCV actually comes up.
That was a mistake. I thought he was going to have the block set up.
Yeah, the third Hydra can finish the block there, but he needs to get it there. Otherwise, if this bio runs up the ramp,
he's gonna.
That can be lights out.
I almost feel like Light is second guessing himself, but of course this is all.
Oh my gosh!
My God!
And so Jaedong saves the base.
Yeah.
This base does not die now. Wow, Light. Like, Jaedong bought so much time with those lings. Light checked the natural. He hemmed and hawed a little bit. He went to the south. And now Jaedong has an extremely fast 3 bases. But now, it's 3 bases is really important for Zerg. But let's not forget, he's on Lurker Tech, so he has to turtle. He had to make 3 sunken colonies. He had to make a bunch of Zerglings. So he doesn't have as many drones as a real 3-base Zerg does yet.
Very true.
So Light is absolutely not out of this game. It's just his chance of a quick victory against the greedy strategy here of Jaedong is no longer a possibility.
Sometimes with this style of play, we see a drop ship as the next thing. It seems to be a lot more popular at the end of last year and the start of this year.
Yeah.
But we've seen it before where they take the one drop ship, they drop it in the corner of that third base and try to run in there because there's just not enough to defend. But it seems like that might not be the case this time around.
You know what's funny about that? Because it's not as popular now as it was in the time you're talking about. But in this game, it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because Jaedong is rushing to Hive. I don't think he even has a Spire, so there's no way to stop dropship play.
Yeah. Well, this was done super quickly, right? Uh-oh, he sees the one Lurker. Jaedong's on the run. Oh!
All right, the Lurker makes it out.
That was that Lurker screaming, by the way.
For sure. Oh, it hurts. Oh, the Gauss rifle, it's real. All right, so double Lurker stack, really cute move there from Jaedong.
Now, there's no vessel out on the map, by the way, guys. So there's a trick called hold position Lurkers, where you burrow your Lurkers, you grab an Overlord, you hit a hold position, and the Lurkers won't, and you have to do it with an Overlord, by the way, and the Lurkers will not attack until you tell them to. And if there's no detection here, you can end up walking your whole army on top of Lurkers, and then they just attack and kill everything.
Yeah, it's one of the scarier things as Terran, but the way that he's holding the map right now, he's had a very active group or two in the map at all times.
Yeah.
And he scanned the one place that he was unsure of, and there actually was a lurker there.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, so he's got enough forward units. Jaedong can't really risk having too many lurkers on the map right now, because if he loses them, then Light can still roll him over.
Okay, the Nidus Canal's coming. That's going to connect the second base and main base into the third base. I know a lot of times in StarCraft 2, people think of Nidus Network as some kind of offensive play. It's the opposite in StarCraft 1. There it is now. That's going to connect everything together.
Well, that'll stop him from really being busted. Here we see Light just trying to push back an Overlord. If you can get the Overlords pushed back more. Oh, he did go for the dropship play like you were saying. Good call there, Tasteless. And again, there's no Spire as far as I know. So without Scourge, these drops have a lot of potential.
This is funny because I'm used to seeing the one dropship play, but having two, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If you have two, you can kind of fight as an army.
Hold on. We were wrong. There is a Spire.
Oh, okay.
I guess we just didn't see it. Or if it was on camera, we missed it. So he's going to try to drop into the main here, and this is going to go right in between the Scourge. He needs to unload quickly. Oh, wow, one of those vessels, dropships rather, goes down.
That's okay. This is a lot of Marines he has in here, and when it's a mostly lurker army, you're going to have a hard time. Oh, my God. Light actually catching some of these lurkers coming down the ramp and picking off buildings here. I think that might have even been the Spire.
Yeah, he got the Spire. No Evo chamber in a second here. The lurkers are coming up, but he can stim and keep running back.
That's right. This is so annoying for Zerg players. So many units being lost here from Jaedong. He's not going to die to this, but getting an Evolution Chamber, a couple drones, a lot of Zerglings, and a Spire, that is a very successful draw.
And behind this, he's got a third base being made. There's vessels out. I mean, both Zerg positions are basically contained by the infantry. Now, I don't think he got the Defiler Mound there, but, I mean,
actually, you know what? I think that might have been it instead of Spire. I'm not entirely sure.
No,
you're right.
The Spire was taken out. It was a Defiler Mound.
You're right.
And so, you know, he can keep coming out here as Terran. And by the way, this I don't believe is going to be a switch into mech at all. He's going to just keep making science vessels, keep making infantry. And this is tough, even when you have Dark Swarm. Now, that being said, it's hard for the Terran as well. You know, one Dark Swarm goes down. And they get lurkers under there, and you're not ready. You lose your whole army.
Yeah, well, the problem right at this exact moment for Terran is finding a way to do damage. And you're certainly right. When we see that barracks added, 100% he's staying on bio this game. But to get damage done as Terran here, because you must eventually get some damage done, that's going to be the hard thing. Now, ooh, the physics lab already.
Oh, wow.
This is some new meta TVZ stuff. I'll talk about it in a second. Oh, my God.
Defiler.
Oh, this was so sloppy by Jaedong. That was a bad move down the ramp, losing 3-4 lurkers and a Defiler. He needs that fourth base immediately.
Oh, man, and he can actually start to come in here. He can start to irradiate this. Oh, this is pretty ambitious. I don't know. Let's see if the Dark Swarms come down in time. Okay, there it is. If the Dark Swarm's not there, everything on Zerg's side dies, but you can't attack in a Dark Swarm.
No. If you attack into that and they have really anything under it, you're going to have a bad time.
Just for the new people watching, Dark Swarm makes all ranged attacks not work against units inside of it.
Only splash damage works.
Like Lurker Spines.
Or Firebat attack is splash. But
which are horrible against Lurker Spines.
That is so true, Tasteless. You're preaching to the choir, my friend. So I want to talk about that physics lab if we ever get a second here of no action. But crazy stuff going on. Look at how Light is just flooding the map. He's taken 4 bases. You can really see that he is such a strong Terran versus Zerg player right now. Like, Jaedong had a better opening and executed it fantastically, and still Light is taking the map. But about the battlecruiser play, right? It's so cool because you get extra harassment with them, basically. It's not like you're trying to get the ultimate unit and fly around with them and kill everything. Battlecruisers really aren't that good against Zerg, to be honest. Ooh, a plague.
But
if you send some battlecruisers around, it takes a ton of Scourge to kill a battlecruiser because they one-shot Scourge.
Exactly, and suddenly their gas is going into Scourge instead of more Lurkers and more Defilers.
And it matters a little bit less at the top pro level, like that Light is at, but managing a lot of vessels and keeping the energy low and not being sloppy with them is incredibly hard. So the battlecruiser actually can be a very good usage of your multitasking time, right? You set it and you forget it. You attack, move a base, and you're like, all right, good luck.
Yeah, it's like the Zerg is having to do a lot of heavy lifting to get rid of that while you're busy multitasking around the map. Now, J-Dong's taken his 4th base, and by the way, tempo-wise on expanding, it looks really weird for Terran versus Zerg, especially modern Brood War, because the Terran is basically now in control of the right side of the map. And what's happening is that Light's not really trying to push unless he sees there's nobody watching, right? He sees that, okay, you don't have any dark swarms over here. He'll try to poke in. He's just containing the main and the natural, and then the 3rd and the 4th with some of his army, using science vessels, and then he starts to fly these battle cruisers out here. Now watch this.
Yeah, the battle cruisers are so annoying to deal with. Like, you can do things like make a few Hydras, throw a Darkstorm down, but the battle cruisers can run from that.
And look at this.
And look, they'll clear all the Scourge. You can bring in dropships.
He's going to use them to escort the dropships into the main. Now, the Plague is a smart move on these battle cruisers, but battle cruisers have so much HP.
It doesn't get them red.
By the way, this was only used in the early part of StarCraft 1 and now.
Yeah.
So it's like a total meta shift. And this actually may be the straw that breaks the camel's back here. I mean, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and look, the battle cruisers come down there trying to target down the Defiler. It gets under its own Dark Swarm. It looks like he'll clean this up, but he's losing a lot of drones. Oh, an Evolution Chamber once again, really stifling those upgrades.
Well, the other thing that's crazy is that the battle cruisers can start to kill drones over at the natural.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just so annoying. Now, even if he kills all these battle cruisers, there might be 2 more that come out. We don't know what he's making back at home.
Yeah. And the thing is, everything you make out of there, like you make battle cruisers or you make dropships or you make science vessels, all those are super useful against Zerg at this point. So
he's going to keep loading up dropships.
Look at how much Life has right now. Light
Look at this.
has so much. He has 5 bases.
How disgusting is this battle cruiser over here? Look at this. Takes forever to kill.
Gosh.
It's so funny because, again, we saw this super early in StarCraft 1, and people were like, what are you doing, you idiot? Nobody does that. And then now in 2018, it's like, no, Light says, oh, watch, I think I'll probably beat J-Dong doing this.
Yeah. Seriously. Now, a couple of dropships actually coming into that main base. With this many Lings and Defilers, I don't know if that's going to work out for him.
Yeah. Thing is, it's keeping the Zerg honest. I mean, Zerg's barely mining on 4 bases. It's constantly being interrupted.
And he lost the Spire again, it looks like.
Yeah.
Dude, that's... I mean, that means the vessels are going to live, the dropships are going to live. Light is really keeping the pressure on J-Dong, but J-Dong isn't out. We keep highlighting all these awesome moves. Oh, my God. 3 battle cruisers. You thought 2 battle cruisers was scary? Let me tell you a story, Tasteless. It's a story about 3 battle cruisers.
Look at this. How many Scourge? They one-shot Scourge, by the way, guys.
Yeah. You have to send a ridiculous amount of Scourge there.
So you have to send more than enough to kill all that.
Yeah.
Now, this is smart that he keeps... he's like, I can't get me under here.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many Scourge you have to send out?
Now, something I wanted to mention here. Oh, he's bringing out Hydras, but he's actually targeting that. There you go. Those battle cruisers will all die to that now. Okay, so they're going to have to back up. But J-Dong has actually held on. Yes, he's down like 60 supply.
Oh, hold on.
But you can be down 60 supply and still win the game as Zerg.
Yeah, very true.
It'll be a long road, but J-Dong is not out. He's got Ultras. He's got great spells.
Yeah, and Zerg and StarCraft 1 are always behind in supply, and StarCraft 2, they're always ahead if the game's looking even. Now, I'm sorry, did he get the Nidus network? I thought he did.
I'm actually unsure. This game has been so crazy. More battle cruisers. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's making 3 at a time.
So cool.
You know, this is really cool. The thing is, a lot of Terrans right now will mix in a couple battle cruisers here and there. You watch, like, Light or Piano or something, but this is awesome to just see 3 starports at a time. He has the economy. Why not?
By the way, he is switching into mech at the bottom of the map.
It could be mass siege tank.
Eraser, so you irradiate your own vessels. They're mechanical units that don't take damage, but Irradiate has Splash as an area of effect or whatever you want to call it. So he's killing off a ton of drones here.
Yeah.
I mean, this has just been Light abusing J-Dong this whole game with J-Dong barely hanging on. But Light is going to mine out on his side of the map much sooner than J-Dong will.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to repair those battle cruisers, and Hydra's coming up to attack. The BC's in the middle of the map as well. Now, man, I tell you what, like, this is kind of a crazy game because you're definitely right that he's been abusing J-Dong, But Jaedong has these giant elephant-looking things, and I heard that they're very tough to kill.
I heard that's how Genghis Khan conquered a large... No, that was Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, sorry.
I heard that Caesar rode one of those.
100 people just started backspacing their tweets right now. Like, okay, he got the right ruler right. So, it was another drop that happened over here, and he's sending these ultras here, but you can see there's so much defense.
Yeah.
And the battle cruisers, I feel like Jaedong might be at a breaking point.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit rough for him over here. These drops are just doing a bit too much damage. But, again, he's still got a chance. He's got a pretty decent army right now. He forced a liftoff, at least, on one of the bases of his opponent. Can he save these bottom bases? That's what he has to do right now.
Do you get the Yamato gun when you do this?
No, generally not. But if you're making 3 at a time as light as...
It would seem like you could just start targeting down, yeah.
With this type of economy, why not?
Yeah.
Thing is, you might not think that they'll last to 150 energy. Like, these ones don't even have it yet. They've been out a while, right?
Yeah.
So he loses some. But, I mean, Yamato is not that expensive of an upgrade. It's like, what, 150, 150 if I recall correctly?
Maybe he's not full-on going into mech. Maybe he's just getting tanks down there because he knows the only way he's going to be broken. I stand corrected.
Okay, so let me explain that a little bit, because the bio play can be really good, but the combination of Plague and Ultralisks kills Marines so badly that sometimes you'll see this type of player like just mass up siege tanks and put them on some ledges. Yeah. And the siege tanks do very well against Ultras, so... That's kind of how you fill in your weak point.
I don't know, Artosis. Another drop comes in over here. The reinforcements coming to save the day, but there's a lot of stimmed units over here.
The Ultras coming up. You should be able to clear this army with this many Ultras.
Ultras can beat Marines. Even if you're incredible at micro. Oh, my God, great snipe. He actually gets that hatchery. He's going to get the pool as well.
Oh, so many painful moments. These battle cruisers are worth their weight in gold right now for light.
It's such a crazy thing because you see them throw that unit out in the mix.
Yeah.
And it's like Zerg has been so preoccupied trying to deal with bio. Wow.
But Ultras coming up. Oh, see those siege tanks? That base is no longer breakable by the ground. Like, when you get 4 to 6 siege tanks on high ground, Zerg better just go find something else to do.
Yeah. In fact, he might want to try to get the hive over there.
Man, this is a crazy game right now. Look at Jaedong. Like, he's still got a decent-sized army, but Light's bank is super big, and he is whittling him down.
Thing is, Zerg does have map control here. You got to be careful because when you use Irradiate on Ultras and they get to your Marines, then your Marines die even faster. So I think Light's suddenly realizing, oh my God, he needs to land that eBay. I think it's not going to happen in time. Get him!
Terrence joke about that a lot. To irradiate the Ultralisk is a buff almost. But it will do a lot of damage to him over time. Now look at this little choke point. This is one great way to deal with Ultras. Make them attack into these locations where they have a hard time moving around. You can see
GG.
A lot harder, and wow.
Damn,
yeah.
Light is sick.
He's so good. Now,